Hi everyone, this is the Introduction to Cybersecurity course by Building Blocks. I'm Terence. There will be two other facilitators that will be coming along to help, NUSH Javier and NYJC Zekai. If you all have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to DM any of us.
Or ask in the workshop help, yeah.
In the workshop help. There's a slide link if you all ever want to reference it. So just a brief rundown about what cybersecurity is. Basically, like you want to protect your computer system, such as hardware, software, all sorts of data from some cyber threats. Or some cyber threats would be viruses, phishing, all sorts of weird stuff. And the key concept of cybersecurity is that you need to know like how systems work and how do you make use of this knowledge to exploit them. So preferably, generally, most cybersecurity courses or something similar, it require you to have a wide knowledge of computing. And yes, if you need help, basically Google, that's the golden rule of most cybersecurity professionals. Yes, cybersecurity is very important. Else you'll get situations like missing health data breach. If you don't know about it, it's a good example for your essays or for your social study. Basically, 1.5 million patients' data stolen, PM data stolen. And today we will be looking at cybersecurity through the lens of capture the flag competitions. So capture the flag competitions are basically competitions testing you on your cybersecurity skill. They have a wide variety of topics such as application, to hack into web application. Reverse engineering is like how to say you have a program and you want to like find out like how it works to get some secrets. Forensics, cryptography, and more. And particularly, we'll be focusing on Pico CTF. So yeah, Pico CTF is basically a beginner level capture the flag competition targeted at basically secondary school or JC students. And for today, we'll be going through some cybersecurity concepts, and y'all can apply these concepts on Pico CTF problems. If you haven't already, please go to this website URL and create an account. For now, I'll assume you all have read the pre-workshop thing, and you all have created an account. So we'll be covering these basic topics for cybersecurity. First, some of the pure basics, and more in depth into the different topics like cryptography, forensics, and web. I'll be doing basics. Xavier will be doing cryptography, then I'll be doing forensics again, and Zekai will be doing web. Let's start out with some of the basics. One of the basics of computing is that we know about number bases. So computers only understand numbers. Like they don't understand text or pictures or videos or games or whatever forms, unless you convert them to some form of numbers. Hence, you need to know like all the different ways computers store numbers and all the different ways to manipulate these numbers. So when we look at numbers, let's just think about how numbers usually are. In this case, the usual way we look at numbers is in terms of denary, base 10. Base 10, each place has 10 digits. So like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you want to count greater than 9, go to the next, you add a digit place. So you get 10. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, etc., etc. If you go to 99, you want to count greater than that, add another digit place. So generally, this is the formula for binary. This is the way we usually look at numbers. The place value is basically like 10, plus base 10, to the power of let's say your place is 0, 1, comes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take this place value, multiply by the value of the digit here, do that for all the places, and sum them up. So that's binary in a nutshell, which you all should be familiar with. But for computers, we are more looking at other bases. So for other bases, base n, it's a similar concept, but instead of having 10 for base 10, replace this 10 with n. So for instance, here will be n to the power of 0 times 1. And then n power 1 times 3, or something like that. And some of the common bases are base 2, binary, base 16, hexadecimal, or base 64. So first, let's look at base 2. Base 2, n value is 2. So generally, place values will be power 0, power 1, 2 power 2, etc., etc. And in this case, each digit place can only be either 0 or 1. And here's the general formula. So in this case, working out the maths, here is 1 times 2 power 7, 1 to 8, 2 power 7 because of the position, 1 because it's the value of the digit here. Then 1 times 2 power 6, 2 power 6 because it's the position, and because it's here, the value of the digit here, you get 64. And if it's 0, you get 0 times 2 power 5. Add them all up, you get binary value. A hexadecimal, it's something similar, but this time you have 16 types of digits to work with. From 0 to 9, and A, B, F. And yeah, the formula is kind of the same. Let's look at a sample hexadecimal number. In this case, one common notation of showing that it is a hexadecimal number is this row X here. Basically telling you that this is a hexadecimal number. You have to use hexadecimal, you have to look at it like a hexadecimal number, something like that. So number is FA. So F before is 15. And the position here, the place value is 16 power 1. So 15 times 16 power 1. A represents for 10. So the position base value is 16 power 0. So 10 times 16 power 0. If you work this out, value will be 150. Base 64 is another number base, but it's kind of there are 64. This time there are 64 digits to work with, so it's kind of complex to do it manually. So generally for base 64, what you will do is you'll just search for an online converter to convert it from encoded data to some sort of usually binary data, usually either text data or some raw file data. So please don't work this out by hand. It's going to be way too complicated. So most of us just use an online decoder or encoder if you want to put it in base 64. One way of representing numbers in terms of text is through this unique thing called ASCII. Basically like maps like all the different alphabets, numbers, special characters, special symbols, more in terms of numbers. So A to Z capitalized, A to Z non-capitalized, 0 to 9, bracket, parentheses, and whatever. So generally, you can just use this table. You notice there are these special characters here, and not weird. these are actually like control characters. So to use to tell computers of some special situations. And let's say you have a new line. You press the enter, you have some text, press a new line to separate like the paragraph of text above and the paragraph of text below. This new line is actually represented by a new line character, which is in this case decimal 10 9 feet. So here are some common knowledge, want to know. To solve some of these concepts will be used in some challenges. Generally, you can try to work it out by hand, because sometimes it's faster. Or there are plenty of other tools, like some tools, Cryptography or Cybersecurity. And with that, y'all can try these questions on Pico CTF. We'll give about 5 to 10 minutes should be. 5 to 10 minutes should be more than it. Yeah. So it's open up Pico CTF and challenge problems. Y'all can start working on them. Some of the challenges won't be unlocked unless you do some challenges before, some other previous challenges. So yeah. If you all have any questions, just feel free to ask any of us. Workshop help.
Wait, Terence, maybe you just want to do a quick run through of which question. Yeah, correct, the website, yeah.
Okay, so for me, I already done some of these challenges beforehand. So I can't exactly tell you what challenges need to be done first. But okay, the important challenges, I think they should be unlocked from the start. Warm. Yeah. Let's warm up. Okay. And warmed up. And bases. It's kind of all over the place. Yeah. If you all done these challenges already, y'all could also do this challenge the numbers. Another important computing concept to deal with is operating systems. So these are basically a set of programs that control a computer. They act as a middleman between applications, hardware, etc. So yeah. In short, basically some common operating systems are Microsoft Windows, which is let's say you look at my computer screen. Start menu, File Explorer, Windows taskbar, whatever. All these basically show like it's running on Microsoft Windows operating system. If any of you happen to have a Mac, you are probably running on OS also. OS, which is another common operating system. And for phones, most phones run on Android, which is a mobile phone operating system, but some basically iPhones run on iOS. However, for cybersecurity, Linux is one of the most common operating systems to deal with, mainly because it has such a wide variety of tools, both for developing programs and for compromising systems. But you don't actually need to go and download Linux and set it up to use it, because CTF already has done that for you through this online user interface. So just click on Shell, set up an account, and you all have a command line user interface to use Linux with and use all the tools. So there are some of the common commands. I'll be demoing them live. So you can go to shell again. And generally, this is the command line user interface. So this is my username. This is the name of the computer that's working on. And usually here is the file directory. So this curly sign or whatever, I don't actually know the simple name. It actually represents the home
Tilde,
directory.
I think.
What?
Tilde.
Okay, tilde. Basically, yeah, it represents the home directory. So if you want to know what directory you're in, you can just type pwd. Good to know, not really essential. So for Linux, all the files start from this root directory, which is basically slash. So to go to it, you write cd, change directory, case, the directory you want to go to. So in this case, slash. And to list everything out inside, just type ls. And you get all the list of items. So let's say I want to go to this TMP folder. So I just type cd TMP. In this case, I don't really need the slash because I'm going to a folder that's in this directory. Yeah. And let's say I want to create a file. I know yes. And I can type all the stuff I want. So like and once you finish typing your stuff, you notice all these down here and this caret. This caret actually represents the control key. So in this case, looking at the user interface here, just Control X to exit, I to save, and that's it. And I'll create a new file. So Control X, exit, I to save, and just press enter. If I want to show the contents inside this I file, just type cat I. If I want to show all the readable characters inside this Y file, you just put strings I. There's a difference between strings and cat. It shows all the data inside the file. So in this case, I already set up another file. It's called, it should be here. Let's say I want to show all the contents inside this strings file. This. Notice you'll get all sorts of weird characters like this question mark. Those aren't actually readable characters. They are more of control characters. Yeah, things. But if I want to show all the readable strings, like this, I should only get the readable content and not some weird characters and unreadable jargon or stuff. Okay. Final command that will be useful is grep. So grep basically allows you to search for certain patterns in a file. So how you use grep is that you type in a command which shows, like in this case, shows all the strings inside the file. And you put this bar here or like here, something like that. You type grep, the pattern you're looking for is, let's say I want to search for my remember to type in the correct file name. You see all the lines are highlighted. So I want to do that for my, let's say the Wi-Fi I created just now. Nothing shows up because it doesn't have it. Like, if I want to search for world, what happened? No wonder. If you want to search for world, yeah. So one thing to take note is that not key sensitive. So you see here, if I put a capital W or a small letter W, it doesn't. So here are some basic. So these are some basic command line commands. Another useful command is netcat. It's a program used to connect with other computers. Basically, if they say, you connect to this URL at this port to get the flag, basically means use cat. And to use netcat, this is the general format of the command. Or something, for example, something like this. And with that, you all should be able to try these questions on Pico CTF. Yeah, if you all have any questions, feel free to ask in workshop help. Yeah, so I think I'll just go through first grab now. It's the basics anyway, so it shouldn't mean. I realized what I just said. I'm sorry. So, first grab was, let's say this is a directory. So let's say you want to go to the directory, to like access the file, type cd this directory. And you want to know like what kind of files in this directory. You want to find the flag from here. So first you want to like show all the interval characters. And yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not going to look through manually to find it. So never mind. It's not the intended solution. The intended solution was by right. Since y'all saw the flag already. Alright, you're supposed to input the flag format here. Okay, so it's 10:50 already. And so right now it's going to be about cryptography, and I'll pass the time to Olivia.
Yeah, so now I'll be going through some basic cryptography. So firstly, what is encryption? Yeah, so encryption is the act of taking a message, also called the plain text for clarity, a key, which is a secret value, which is shared between two people, and an encryption scheme, the method which the message is encrypted. So modern encryption schemes include RSA, AES, and such, but for today, we'll only be looking at text ciphers. So the output of an encryption scheme is also called the ciphertext. Yeah. So let's start with the simplest cipher, the shift cipher. It simply shifts all the letters by n alphabets. In this case, n is our secret key. So for example, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, D, E, F is mapped to D, E, F, G, H, I with a key of 3. The shift cipher is a simple and effective way to make most English text unreadable. A shift cipher with a key of 3 is also called the Caesar cipher. Thanks. So then we upgrade to the substitution cipher. It substitutes each letter in the plain text with another letter. In this case, our key is the way that we map the alphabet into another alphabet. So each letter substitution is unrelated to any other letter other than the fact that two letters cannot substitute into the same letter. So for instance, mapping the alphabet into the QWERTY layout as our key, G becomes U, R becomes K, and so on, and then our message is encrypted. So finally, we have the Vigneer cipher. We start with a plain text and a key, which are both text or words. The key is repeated until it's the length of the plain text. Then we take the first letter of the plaintext and the first letter of the key, and we get an encrypted letter by looking at an alphabet chart. We repeat this for every letter to get the whole ciphertext. So for instance, if our plaintext was attack at dawn and our key was lemon, we will first repeat lemon over and over until it's the same length. Then we take A and L, which are the first letters of each. We look at the table and we get the corresponding letter L. We take T and E, the second letters of each. Look at the table, we get the corresponding letter X. We will repeat this until we're done, and then we'll have our encrypted ciphertext. So comparing substitution and the Vigneer to Caesar, the secrecy of the message depends on the secrecy of the encryption key rather than the secrecy of the system, which makes it more secure. Yeah, so now for the fun part, how do we actually crack these ciphers? So for Caesar or Shift, you might have already figured out that it's not very secure at all. The set of all possible keys, or the key space, consists of +0, +1, +2 to +25. There are only 26 keys, or 25 non-trivial keys if you exclude +0. So with a simple script, or even by pen and paper, you can quickly brute force all 26 keys to uncover the message. So yeah, this is a simple Python script that attempts to decode the ciphertext MJQQTBTWQI. Yeah, and by testing all keys, it's very obvious what shift was used, and the message is very easily unencrypted. So what about the substitution cipher? The key space is the number of rearrangements of the alphabet. So there are 26 possible characters that A can be mapped to, then B has 25, C has 24, and so on. In total, there are 26 factorial possible substitutions, making 40 septillion keys, as compared to the shift cipher's 25. So even if we could check 10 to the 10 of these keys per second, it would still take 127 million years to check all of the keys. So without a doubt, it's more secure than the shift cipher, but is it secure in general? Still no. So language has patterns that we can exploit. For instance, many people know that the most common English letter is the letter E, followed by T, and so on. So if the ciphertext was long enough, we can figure out the letter count of each letter, and the most common one would be E, the second most common would be T, and so on. So letter pairs are also undistributed. So letter pairs are distributed perfectly either. So if you see the letter Q, you know for certain that the next letter is an U. We can use 1 and 2 letter words as hints. So if you see a 1 letter word, it's probably A or I, and there are only like 20 commonly used 2 letter words. So yeah, there's many other methods of attacks. And all in all, by considering the different patterns and quirks, it is possible to break the substitution cipher with relative ease as compared to modern encryption schemes. So for the Vigneer cipher, the number of keys is equal to the number of 1-letter keys plus the number of 2-letter keys and so on till the length of the message. So the number of possible keys grows exponentially with the length of the message. So what do we do? Well, if we look at the chart more carefully, the first row goes A, B, C, D, E. The second row goes B, C, D, E, F. The third goes C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So the Vigneer cipher is actually a shift cipher, but with a changing key depending on the index of the character. So if the key length was n, then we know that the 0th, the nth, the 2nth letters would form a shift cipher. And then the 1, the first, the n plus 1, the n plus 2, and so on, they will form another shift cipher with a different key. So take note that we cannot just test every possible shift and attempt to read the decoded text as we did with the shift cipher, as the letters are not next to each other, so they don't form words. Instead, what we can do is what we did for the substitution cipher. So we apply frequency analysis on each shift cipher to determine the likely shift. And instead of checking an exponentially growing number of keys, we only need to check as many keys as there are characters in the ciphertext. So let's say we have this ciphertext. And for the sake of simplicity and time, we will assume that the key length is 3. Now, every third character forms a shift cipher, so we split it up into 3 groups, each with its own shift. Now, if we perform a frequency count on the first row, we might get something like this. And the spike at the letter F hints that the letter F is actually the encrypted letter E. So the shift was F minus E equals to 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. And if we unshift the entire row by 1, next. You'll get this. So we can repeat this process for the remaining 2 rows, or as many groups as there are. And just like that, we can decrypt the ciphertext without knowing the initial key. Yeah, so sorry. In practice, computers do the cipher breaking for us, especially for simple ones like this. So you can use online tools like CyberChef, which was mentioned earlier, and many others to solve simple cryptography problems. So these are some of the Pico CTF questions you can try. The numbers 13, easy one, Caesar, and a bonus question, tapping. Yeah, so if you need help, just ask in the Discord channel, workshop help.
Generally, forensics in cybersecurity is about, say you have a corrupted file, you want to uncover what's originally there, or maybe some information is hidden within another file, and some other weird things like that. So it's basically about dealing with files and trying to uncover whatever information you can about them. So since it's about files, we need to know what files are in the first place. And we said generally computers only understand numbers. And a file is basically a collection of these numbers. And if you try to edit the raw file data, usually they'll be represented in hexadecimal, like in this format. Some interesting things to take note of: files generally have this thing called a file header or file signature. Basically tells the computer what kind of file it is. Each different file type has a different structure on how its data is organized, because it stores different kinds of data. Each different file type stores different kinds of data. And if you want to edit the raw file data, you could download a hex editor and manually edit the bytes. But this is not needed for today. So let's look at some sample files. So right here is a JPEG image. And yeah, there's a file header, a file signature. There's all these weird structure. To be honest, y'all don't need to know so much yet. But yeah, each file has its own structure. And sometimes there's a file thing. And for zip file, there's a file header, there's a structure. So sometimes you don't know what kind of file exactly it is. Or maybe you'll get a TXT file, but you open it and you get garbage characters. So in this case, Linux has this file command which will tell you what exactly this file is. So in this case, you use it like this file, and the file name. Then it'll tell you, like, for example, flag.txt is PNG image data. So in that case, you have to rename this to a PNG and open it using a proper PNG. Another thing about forensics is basic networking. It's about networking. So computers so like, for example, let's say you are transferring stuff to another computer, and then you are able to extract like the information that are being transferred. Basically, once you have this information, packets of sorts, you can analyze them and maybe with them and get some hidden file that they are transferring between. So some basic notes is that computers don't transmit like the file wholesale. They break up the file into different packets and transmit them one by one. There are many different kinds of networking protocols to send all the different kinds of information. For example, FTP transfers files, HTTP transfers web pages. So HTTP. S just that. And SMTP is usually for email. Sometimes also other lower layers of networking like TCP and UDP. To analyze all these, let's say you have a file packet. Let's say you are managed to like intercept a network connection and you gain a file packet. Analyze it, use this tool called Wireshark, which is basically a tool to analyze network packets. You can find suspicious information within them, download some files, and more, possibly more. So let's do a live demo. In this case, assuming you all have installed Wireshark already, even if you all haven't, it's okay. It's like 5 or so to install. So let's say I have this data.pcat file. And the first thing I look at it is, wow, there are so many packets and so much information. And where do I start? So generally, at least from my personal experience, is that TCP packets aren't that important because they are on the lower layers of networking. They don't contain much of actual information. This is from my experience. For all you know, maybe there's some challenge that requires you to analyze it in more detail. But from my experience, I ignore TCP packets, I look at what's happening. Or in this case, FTP is happening. So they are transferring files. And let's look at the information. User, employee, pass, enter to. Some interesting information already that you can see. If you want to, for example, extract out, because data are being sent in packets. But if you want to combine all of these together to like get the entirety that is being sent, what you do is that you right click, follow. In this case, only TCP stream, so just follow TCP stream. Yeah, so let's say I follow this FTP protocol. Get user, employee, pass, hunter to. So this is basically like the whole log of what's happening between these two computers. If you want to change between streams, because sometimes there may be more than one kind of data being sent, you can just click here. Yeah, we know that it's a zip file. And let's say we want to extract the zip file. This looks interesting. So in this case, you see, this seems like retrieve.zip. So my guess is that, say here, contains a zip file. So I want to save it as raw binary data. So I change it to raw, save as. By the way, if you want to search for things, you can apply display filters. Like let's say I want to search for only those with FTP or TCP. And there are other kinds of filters like, see if I type here, this, that you can play around with it. I got the black.zip file. Let's open it. And it's password protected. It just guess that the password is hunter2 because it's clearly stated inside. Yeah, you can add the file data. Another way of getting file data is that potentially you could like export objects. Yeah, but this is just for information. Yeah, not going to go through too much detail. So yeah, basically that's generally one of the ways to use Wireshark. And right here are just some slides telling you what you need to do. With that, you can basically try these questions of Pico CTF. For another quick fact about Wireshark, like you want to like search for here is filter. So like let's say you want to just search for employee. It doesn't give you anything. Because like the display filter here is like some guide. You must follow like the syntax or stuff. But if you just want to search for a string, or if you want to search for, let's say, the file header opposite file 504B0304. Yeah. The challenges are under forensics, and until 11:35 should be good.
Okay, so for today I will be covering the last part of the workshop, web challenges. So web challenges are basically challenges involving web pages. And they are usually quite complex and they can throw you a lot of curveballs. So we are going to give you a brief overview of the basic techniques used to solve web challenges. And these techniques are very useful for start, especially when you're stuck. Okay, so the first technique we are actually going to cover is very simple. It is inspect elements. So I'm going to demo this within the slides. So here I actually have a static website. Yeah, they're not sponsored by Amazon. So the inspect element, you can just right click and click inspect. And then this thing will show up. Or alternatively, you can go to more tools and developer tools and you'll see it. So what we are looking for in inspect element is comments. So a website usually consists of three parts: the HTML script, the JavaScript, and the CSS file. So each of these files have their own format for comments. For example, in HTML, comment is actually these are actually comments. The grayed out one is the text that look like an arrow to the left and an arrow to the right. So usually comments can have stuff such as username, password, or even a flag, which is a simple challenge. So a username and a password might be useful because you might need it in a later part of the yeah. So for JavaScript, sometimes stuff can be hidden here, but yeah, not very common. Our comment looks like this, and it is identified by the tag with a slash and asterisk. For CSS or comment, yeah, looks the same. The slash and the asterisk indicates a comment. Okay. Yeah, so to find all the files, right, you can go to sources and you will see everything. So that is then JavaScript and the file. If the website contains an image, you have to see it. So this website has no images. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to cover is robot text. Robot text is basically a file that the search engine will always access to know what they can or cannot crawl. So this allow field of the robot text contains pages that the search engine should not crawl. Hence, these pages will not show up in Google or any other search engines. Okay, I'm going to demo this using a Singapore Airlines website. So if they go singaporeair.com, the robot, you actually see this plain text with no style. And you actually see a lot of people now. So these are basically websites that will show up on Google, and usually in a in the context of a CTF challenge, it usually contains databases or another web page that will bring you closer to solving the challenge. So to give you an example, I will just choose this. So I will paste it behind. So it's actually a valid web page, but you won't see this coming up on a Google search. Yes. Next one. So the next thing I'm going to cover is actually cookies. Cookies is a small piece of data that a web page stores on the user computer. So cookies is really used to store your login credentials when you click on Remember Me. It is also used by websites to track your search history so that they can show you the ads that they want you to see. So that is the reason why when you access a new web page, it always asks you whether you allow them to store cookies on your computer or not. Okay, so to demo cookies, I'm actually going to use an actual CTF challenge. So, okay, so this is a 2018 people CTF test. They're basically supposed to take it and you'll get flag. But when I log in, it says no flag for me. So one thing we can look at is the cookies. So again, we go to inspect element, and then we go to application, and down here you actually see cookies. So you go to cookies, and you actually see here the cookies name and the cookies value. So if I change the admin to cookies, then I do it at the page, I will actually get the flag. So yeah, here's the flag. So it's what cookies is used for. Yeah, cookies is used to it's usually used to change a value so that you'll bring it closer to something. Yeah, so I can give you another example of cookie, which is the one that you will see at the right. So in this challenge, we are basically supposed to click make eraser 1 trillion times to get the flag. But obviously that is not practical because you will spoil your mouse or your trackpad before you get the flag. So we actually see that the eraser value is actually stored in cookies. So we can actually change the eraser's value to something very close to the expected value that we want. And we can just refresh the page and click make eraser a few times to just reach 1 trillion. Yes. So I've come to the end of my part, and you can try these questions of Pico CTF. Some of the challenges require more knowledge than what we have taught during the lecture. I think log on means that, yeah. Other than that, it should be quite easy.
So in conclusion, so yeah, basically this is just a primer to cybersecurity. We are not this is not all you need to know about cyber. All you need to know to instantly become a cybersecurity genius. But what we taught does help you get started with some CTF competitions, and it's like a base for learning more content. And generally for cybersecurity, just to say again, you need to learn to be an expert. You need to know a lot of stuff, and for some of the challenges, you need to constantly keep on googling and try to learn stuff as you go. But yeah, Google is your best friend. So if you are interested in cybersecurity, you can participate in CTF competitions. So some of the field is the box, which is like a competition where you get to to virtual machines or something to extract out the flag or something like that. It also has regular challenges. For JC, there's Hackathon. Hackathon, if any of you are JC1 or planning to go to or in secondary school but planning to go to a JC, there's also DSTA Cyber Defenders Discovery Camp. This has actually closed this year. Registration has actually closed, but JC or poly students can join next year. There are also many other online CTFs like Google CTF, and occasionally if you search up, there's this website called CTF Time. And then occasionally you can find some random online CTFs to participate in. I just googled this morning on CTF Time. There's a DEFCON CTF. So it's for the interested. But for secondary school students, there's also YCEP. It's under the External Programs chat. YCEP, Post Cyber Exploration Program. I encourage the secondary school students to sign up, and it teaches a lot of fun stuff like hacking into Linux, all the more in-depth knowledge about Linux commands, etc., and about hacking into Linux. So yeah, generally, if you are interested in cybersecurity, participate in CTFs, keep an open mind and keep learning, and should be it. Yeah, so really, thank you for listening. Yeah, if y'all still have any trouble with CTF or doing the challenges, feel free to ask any of us. And if you're I don't know, maybe too shy to ask us or too lazy to ask us, there's actually also online write-ups of Pico CTF. So you can just Google Pico CTF write-up, just search, you'll get a step-by-step process on how to do the questions. I advise you all not to just copy the flag, but try out hands-on because there's a difference. You just reading and trying.